Hello, guys. Bob here for TNL Network. I want to welcome you to Tuesday Night Live and thank you for joining us and supporting our entire family and shows and channels. Tonight's episode is going to be another great show as we chat with a very talented Mrs. Claus, who is also an experienced face painter, and her annual home for the Christmas season, where she performs each year, is a great location, as we find out all about it in a bit. Her and her hubby was vendors and attended classes last month at North Pole Cornerstones, Oklahoma City, and they have done the same for several years now at School of Santas in Branson. This segment of tonight's show is brought to you by North Pole Cornerstones, a new, unique, and entertaining 4-day experience. This is Tuesday Night Live. Everyone, please give a big round of applause for my co host with the most stuff, that is, stuff for Santa, stuff for Mrs. C's, stuff for elves, and stuff for all entertainers of the Christmas spirit and beyond. Here is Spangle.
Hey, Bob. It looks like now you're going to make me go out and buy another website because I do own the website Stuff for Santa, Stuff for Mrs. Claus, and Stuff for Elves. And now you throw in this stuff for all entertainers of the Christmas spirit and beyond. It looks like I'll be GoDaddying it later, won't I?
I like that because you know why? You always get a piece of us, so now we kind of make you get a little piece of the action by extending yourself for another website.
All right, very good. Hey, everybody, good to be here. Good to see you all. And we're going to have a good show tonight.
Yes, we are. Who else we want to say hi to?
Miss Angela.
That's right. Say hello to Angie
I'm here! Yay!
of our hard at it. You know, guys, you can experience us on your bigger screen over on YouTube at the Tuesday Night Live Show 1225. Go over, check us out on the big tube. And, the first half of the TNL show Trivia is brought to you by School of Santas 2026, which is hosted by that man sitting right down there, Mr. Spangle, in picturesque Ozark Mountains, Branson, Missouri, where, what?
Oh, Angela's lost so much weight now. Even put her on the big screen, she ain't gonna be that big.
There you go. That's very true. Very true. So what I started to say was where fun and education meets. We want to make sure we get that in because that is always the punchline and is so, so true.
Here we go.
Boy, Bob, I don't know about your choice of music. I bet we could get a poll up here and we could vote for a different music there.
I looked for some country and I just couldn't find nothing that had that beat to it, you know?
All right, are we going into trivia or were you doing the other promo?
We're gonna say hello to everyone, and we're gonna say hello to Jetta.
That's right.
Hello, Georgetta.
That's right. That's right. So we just want to say hi to Jetta, as Angela said. Hope things are going okay for you, dear. We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you a lot. We need to
Yep.
get you home.
Sure do. So yeah, it's toy trivia time. So let's do it, Spangle.
Okay, so which of these toys were not introduced in 1960? The vacuum form, Super Ball, Matchbox cars, or Rock'em Sock'em robots? And I got those in my man cave.
That's right, and
So,
that is good for your name in the hat for the School of Santa's 2026.
but hold on, we got a bonus.
We do, we do. Throw the bonus at them.
A children's construction toy, Lincoln Logs, and I'll tell you what, I've had many of them, and I even have them in my trailer outside. Was invented by A. Frank Lloyd Wright, B. Charles B. Darrow, C. Ruth Handler, and D. John Lloyd Wright.
Yes, that gives you a
Have,
lot to
have
chew on.
you ever seen some of the stuff that Frank Lloyd Wright has made?
Yes, I have. I've been to many of those places in the national parks.
Yeah. There's one up in Wisconsin, the House on the Rock.
That's
It's
one I don't believe I've been to.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's all made in a rock, and it's got a carousel in it, and it's insane.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
he was really ahead of his time and, has left his mark, like I said, all the national parks that have buildings that were designed, by him. And of course, you can't go to the Grand Canyon, you don't see it. You can't go to most of the national parks have some sort of, national monument there, even on the register of stuff that he's built. So pretty cool stuff.
Right. Maybe we ought to make a trip up to Wisconsin, Bob.
Well, I got to go to Michigan here in a couple of months, so maybe that's a side trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, you can win as many times as you want with trivia. So get your fingers working. Check out both of those. We went to, multiple choice, which I think a little bit easier for everyone. It gives you an idea of what we're looking for anyway. So
You got
good
a
luck, everyone.
25% chance to
And
win.
what's that, Spangle?
You got a 25% chance to win.
Yes, sir, that's correct. And of course, on the bonus question, the winner of that, your name goes in the hat for the drawing for the scholarship for the North Pole Cornerstones. And we just announced this week, just yesterday, matter of fact, February 18th through the 21st, 2027 in Oklahoma City. So good luck there.
All right. Well, anyways, tonight's featured guest is a multi-talented entertainer. Besides performing at a well-known resort in Missouri as Mrs. Claus during the season, she can be found at the same venue working alongside yours truly as a face painter and much more in the off-season. She can be seen at many of the schools and conventions, such as School of Santa's in Branson each year in July, or North Pole Cornerstones in February in Oklahoma. And she was also just down at Lone Stars, where she and her hubby were vendors, but he wasn't for the Lone Stars. More on that later. Please give a huge round of applause for Mrs. Claus, Tracy Pierce.
Hi guys.
I know
I know you. I'm so glad to see you.
you. Most people don't admit that in public.
Uh,
It's
you're
so
my brother
true.
from another mother.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, hi, Tracy. It's good to have you on finally. We've talked
Hey
about
Bob.
this. Gosh, I guess the first time I mentioned it to you and Phil was back when we was in Gatlinburg last, I think. But anyway, it's good to have you. Of course,
Oh,
we've known you for a number of years now from School of Santas that you are a mainstay at, as we are. So, even though it's been a minute since I saw you and Phil, welcome to the TNL pod. So
thank you
let's
for
get
having
started
me.
by rolling into this question first so everyone will kind of get to know you. What or who was the inspiration for you to want to perform as Mrs. Claus, and how long have you been performing as Mrs. C?
Um, my inspiration for becoming a Mrs. Claus was Daisy May. Um, Spangle and Daisy May saw something in me that I didn't really see in myself, and talked me into giving it a try. And it was quite a stretch for this big introvert. So I think that that was my biggest inspiration. I have mentors now, um, but I think that would probably be my inspiration.
Very good. Very
So,
nice.
let me guess on a couple of mentors. Maybe Elizabeth Rouge and Rachel King.
Yes.
Very good. I knew
And
that.
Mo,
And that's right. Mo Elliott.
yep,
Very good. Very
love
good.
Mo and Eric. And
And all
Spangles.
you guys were together this
Spangle is
weekend.
I'm sorry.
All you guys were together this weekend.
Yes. And Spangle's a mentor.
For
So
sure.
even though he's not a Mrs. C, he still has kind of guided my way into the Claus community.
Yeah. All right. So
Just
I
make
have a follow up on
just
that.
make sure there's not a ledge there that I don't lead you over a ledge.
My first year, I was a
Don't
little worried,
don't follow
not
too
gonna lie.
close.
But since then, sorry, I'm trying to move that so maybe the sound will be better. Uh, since then, I've kind of learned where I belong, and I'm much more confident than I was my first year.
Sure. That
I
happens.
remember at School of Santas, and I was showing you a dress in the vendor room, and you're like, "That's a lot of money. I wonder if I could ever make that back." And you made
Yes,
tenfold or something, you know.
yes.
So that was kind of cool. Now
Most of the
you
time,
got
that was just good advice.
a okay. Now you got a pretty cool gig during the holiday season at one of Missouri's most luxurious and well-known resorts. Share with us where you perform and how did you come about finding this gig and how long you have been performing there. And does
I
Phil perform with you?
started out my first year with Big Cedar, and Spangle, you put me there. I still don't know what you saw in me, but you thought I could do it and I could handle it. Um, I never take that for granted. I'm so blessed in my job. And I'm so blessed that you saw that in me. My first year, there was a little rough. They still, they were mourning Daisy May, and I'm not her. She just had this beautiful it factor that I didn't know enough to know that I was wrong in everything I was doing. And it was a little rough. I had to prove my second year that I could do this. And Spangle, you went to bat for me, because not only did I have to follow Daisy May's feet, I had to follow Rachel King's feet. That's a lot. And so my second year, I had to really prove that I could do this, um, that I wanted it, and that I could make the program mine. And I did. So,
It's a testament to your will and your talent that you have. I had a follow up question, real quick, and I know Spangle will have one also. Uh, did you and Phil start performing together, or did you start and drug him into being Santa?
no, I did this for a year and then I kind of drug him in. He wouldn't have it any other way, though. He loves it.
Now, does Phil perform with you at Big Cedar?
He does now. He didn't the first couple years. Ron Blake has been their Santa for years. And Phil came in and helped out last year, and a little bit the year before. I suspect he'll come in and perform with them again next year. So, yeah, it's fun. It's a different dynamic. Being able to work with someone that I'm truly bonded with. So I've enjoyed that.
Spankle, for those who do not live in Missouri or in the area, may not be familiar with what Big Cedar is, tell folks what Big Cedar is.
Well, Big Cedar is a Johnny Morris product. It's attached right there with Top of the Rock, one of the premier golf courses in the country. And it's beautiful. You can't find a more beautiful place at Christmas
Mhm.
time or any time of the year. We do many other events out there, and Tracy is there helping me with many of those events.
Mhm.
And it's just gorgeous, and people come from all over the country to spend time at Big Cedar.
And last year, they got voted number one holiday hotel in the country. So that was exciting.
And for
Yeah.
those who may not know or have never seen photos, go over and do a YouTube or Google Big Cedar and look. It's a fabulous inn or
It's
hotel.
beautiful.
Absolutely is. The setting couldn't be any better.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you even right there next to it, at the top of the rock, there was a sinkhole at top of the rock, and instead of just filling it in like they do most of the time, Johnny Morris has been excavating it, tons and tons and tons of dirt coming out of there, and literally it's like a God's masterpiece. It's beautiful, and who knows
Mhm.
what it's all going to turn out into. But he has that. Johnny Morris has that conservation heart. He wants to see
Yes.
more of our world.
And he's another one that no
Yes.
matter what he does, he's going to be successful at.
It's a privilege to work for them.
Yeah.
Okay, Tracy, let's move along. What would you say your goals are as Mrs. Claus, and does that include mentoring or promoting other Mrs. C's?
I am all about promoting other Mrs. Clauses, elves, that sort of thing. I think that I'm not someone who's like, um, how do you say it? I think that Mrs. Claus should demand equal billing as a Santa because we do so much work behind the scenes and with the kids and that sort of thing. I mean, 90% of the time, if a child won't go to Santa, they'll come to me. And so I think that for what we do, we should look as well and equal demand equal billing.
Yeah, that would be nice if we can make that happen. I think, in fact, most of the times, a lot of times, Mrs. Claus should be getting more than Santa. Santa's just got to sit there.
Sometimes I tell my Santa all the time I work way harder than he does.
Yeah. Well, I know your husband. I don't doubt that.
That's in life in general, though.
Yeah. Okay. How would you say being a resort Mrs. Claus differs from a Mrs. Claus that works other type of gigs? And you probably work a few other types as well.
We have the first year or two. Right now, we don't have time. With the resort, I start November 1st and I'm not done until January 1st. So, and I work every day, no days off. So there isn't a lot of time for other gigs, that sort of thing. Now, my first couple years there, I was able to break off and do some gig work with Phil. I think that so much of the work overlaps. You have home visits and they last 15 to 45 minutes. Now, at the resort, you have about 10 minutes to really get in there and love on that child, make that connection, and then pop out. So this year, I did milk and cookie deliveries, and we would write a letter to Santa, that sort of thing. And then I would leave them with a goodie, a little bit of a story, and then I would be out in 10 minutes. So I think that's the major difference is the time.
And you're
They,
doing this at their rooms, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, to the cabins. Hmm.
Right.
It's the first year they've allowed me to do it, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
Being so busy not to have time to do other stuff from November 1st to January 1st, that's kind of a good problem to have.
We like resort work, and if Johnny Morris said tomorrow, we're going to go a different direction, I'm going to hate it and it's going to hurt. But I also know I can go to just about any resort and say, listen, this is what I've done. So we really like the resort work versus the gig work because we're in one central location. That one of the joys of my life is watching the kids grow year to year. And so that is so much fun. We do one outside gig, and I hesitate to call it a gig, but we volunteer time with St. Jude because I think you have to give back.
Yes. And St. Jude's is a good one for giving too.
Hmm.
Yes,
I
it
agree.
is. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Okay, so do you use a lot of props when you're performing, or how do
I
they play
do.
into your Mrs. Claus persona?
I do. Just about anything that I wear, I can make into a prop. I tend to look at props a little differently. I've got like Spangles um, light bulb. And so what I do with this one is I will hide the remote with my elf and I'll put it over the child's head. Or what's really fun is to do it over like the grumpy uncle or the grumpy grandfather or something and really get them. So we'll tell them that green means they're full of the holiday spirit, and blue means that they're on the fence, and red means they're a Grinch. So when I'll make a big deal of circling it around and I'll put it over their head and I'll have the elves play with me. And if they do a total Grinch, then they have to start singing a Christmas song. And then we'll do it again until it goes green. If they are blue, then they have to tell me the name of their favorite reindeer. So we use it in that way so that we can kind of incorporate it as family fun. And it usually almost always gets a big kick out of it.
Very cool.
I
Where to get those?
use Spangle. I'm
He's
kind of
always
known for
working.
my headwear at the resort. So I wear a lot of tiaras. I wear a lot of Jenny Lynn Claus's headbands. So my second year there, I think I would have the tiara on, and there was this little girl named Sophia, and just cute as a bug. And what I would do is take my tiara off and I would put it on the child. And so if you're a Mrs. Claus and you've got a really intricate hairdo and you don't want that done, then carry a second tiara on a velvet pillow or something and tell them this is my other favorite tiara and I want you to wear it. So you put it on the child and mom just melts. Absolutely. And what started me kind of down that road is Sophia, because the next year, Sophia's mom came back to me and said, I just want you to know, thanks to you, we now have 10 tiaras on a shelf. So I started buying these little bitty tiaras, and you can buy them Amazon Haul,
To
Shein,
the
Temu,
to your
all
left.
that.
There,
There
there
you
you go.
go. They're a nice metal tiara full of rhinestones. There it goes. And I think I got 7 of them for $6, something like that. I mean, it's just a crazy cheap amount. And so I gave these out the next year. And so this past Christmas, I had about 6 or 8 little girls come back wearing their tiaras. So that was really cool.
You
Yes,
do
good look.
understand that I am writing this down, um, and possibly will now be carrying tiaras.
You should. It
I got
really
hundreds of them in the
does.
back room right now from face painting, but they're
Yeah.
different. Maybe I'll look for something more elegant, like you just showed.
It really just makes a statement. And I gave them to the kids that I knew I'd see year to year. And the ones who really just touched my heart. And the boys, we would give them one of your coins. So, we didn't leave them out. But the tiaras are a way, this just generation is raised on Disney. So if you're in a tiara, they automatically equate you with a Disney princess. So it's just another way that if you have a super shy child, you can get them to come in and talk to you. And then when you take your tiara off and put it on them, it's just a whole nother level. And then a lot of times I buy extra of the fancy tiara because I can get them anywhere from, I don't know, $3 to $10. And so if I have one like this past Christmas, I had a girl, she was in her 20s, and I don't know her medical condition, but she e- mentally equated to about 5 or 7. And so I just took my tiara and gave it to her because she loved princesses. And then at the end of the season, I give those same tiaras to the food workers because they just don't get thank yous.
Nice
Nice.
touch.
Yeah. Daisy always wore a tiara.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a new prop that I've done. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. I hope so. Um, this we get asked a lot, like if we're actually married. So I made a Claus family scrapbook.
Can you bring her up full size?
I took family photos back from the 1930s all the way up till now. And I had ChatGPT elf them.
Angela, can
And
you bring her up full screen?
Not on
Please.
the. Can you explain not on this scene that we're on?
Not on EV Muxlow. We used to be able to pull it up. We can't.
Let me.
Oh,
Hang on, she's gonna see if she can
Let
put
me
one together real quick.
switch
all right.
and
I know we
pull.
used to be able to pull it right up. There we
Mm-hmm.
there
go.
There
you
you go.
go. So
Uh-huh.
I had ChatGPT elf the people in the photos, and then I had them make it into like a tin type. So this one is one of my family photos from, gosh, probably the 30s or 40s. And then I had
I love this book.
things like this, just different snapshots. This is actually my father, and his sister. So I just very sparingly wrote on them. Um, so we did it all the way back, and then
Now this could be done for Santa's and Mrs. Claus's, and folks, listen, this is your backstory right here.
yes,
This is put
100%.
together.
This is me as a child, and then I had it elfed and all of that. And then I made it growing up Santa, and those are actually Philip's parents. And then I included some of his like family photos from when he was little, made sure they had ears, all of that.
Now, what do you tell them about the ears now, since your ears aren't pointed now?
Oh, we use Christmas magic to come, and we make sure that we try to blend in as much as we can.
But you do know that girl elves don't have pointed ears, right?
No, I didn't know that,
Yes, you
but
did know that.
we're
Well,
going
well,
with it.
well let me tell you something, okay? Because see, at the North Pole, the boy elves do not like to take as many baths as the girl elves do. So once a week, we gather all the boy elves up together. We put them in the community bathtub, and then we give them a bath, and then we hang them on the clothesline by their ears, and that's how they got the pointed ears.
Okay, I'm gonna let that be your backstory. So I took some of our wedding photos,
Well played, Tracy. Well played.
and then I even took some pictures of our kids. And there's even a sonogram, and I added a elf hat and ears.
Of course, you're gonna have the hat on there, then, aren't you?
Yep. So it kind of goes all the way back through family. And then years and years and years ago, we visited Precious Moments in Joplin.
Uh-huh.
And so I took some of those photos and I made those like the original North Pole. And then so I did a little section on the North Pole then and the North Pole now.
Wow.
So and I'm going to add, I've got them tabbed so that if, because this is a lot. And so if people just want to see our wedding, then I can tab to that. If they want to see our kids, I can tab to that. If they want to see Santa grown up, I can tab to that. And then I'm going to add one in the back that is Santa and I, our first date. So I I really like this. I love it as a backstory.
You're gonna have to get a picture of Phil running away.
Yeah. So it just kind of incorporates who we are and instills it in that backstory. And it was easy to make.
Yeah,
The photos are a 1 hour photo at Walmart and they were 16 cents a piece. So you can do as few as many or as you like.
I love it. It's awesome.
It's one of my favorite props. I'm
And
excited to start
I
using it.
probably should have looked through it more. I looked through it a little bit while we were in Texas,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was very nicely done.
Thank you.
Hats off, as
Thank
you can
you.
tell.
You know,
Not only hats, how about hat and hair off?
something we
One of the
skipped
other
over, I don't know if you
props
want to talk about it, Tracy, or not, but was the bell.
was the
Somehow we
what?
skipped over that. The bell, your bell.
The yes. So one of the other props that I use, this is a bag that Liz Roosh gave me, and I love it. It has letters to Santa on it, so I use it for like my cookie and milk deliveries, and I call it my Mary Poppins bag because you never know what's going to pop out of it. And I keep the reindeer pins from Spangle. And these are the official North Pole pins. And when I go to do milk and cookie deliveries, we do a letter to Santa. So I have them write them with the official North Pole pin. And if the little ones are too young, then we'll trace their hands and then they'll make a mark in the center on the paper so Santa knows it's them. So those are always
Nice.
something to keep up with, and the kids love it, and the moms get a kick out of it. This was something I made. Um, so since I did tiaras last year, I tend to try to do something different every year. So this is a key ring that has a reindeer on it, and it has a snowflake, and then it has a tiny looking antique key. So this year, this was my giveaway. And you can find interesting keychains anywhere. But my backstory on this one was I would go to the kids and I would say, what are, what are we known for at the North Pole? And they would start shouting out, you know, toys, present, elves, reindeers. That's right. Exactly, reindeers. And what else are we known for? Snow. That's right. So here is one of our reindeer. And this is how you know that it's an official North Pole keychain by the snowflake. And what do you think that is? And the kids
Well,
will
I'm hoping
holler.
it's the key to the Mrs. Claus cookie closet.
The kids will holler, and I'll ask them if they think it's new or old. And I'll say, it's old. That's exactly right. What do you think it's to? And so they'll start hollering out. So it's a very interactive prompt. And I'll tell the kids, now, we're known for reindeer, and we're known for snow. Do you think that the sleigh will go with that? And yeah, yeah, Mrs. Claus. And so I'll say, I did something a little different this year, and I made it really hard for you. This is not going to be easy, but I have hidden the sleigh, and I can't tell you if you're going to find it here on property or back at your home. I can't tell you if it's going to be tiny, like when we're at the North Pole, or if it's going to be ginormous, like when we do gifts. But what I can tell you is when you find the real sleigh guarded by the real Rudolph, free ride, and they go nuts. So it's a really cute, inexpensive prop. I laughed so hard because the first week I did it, I had a mom who came to me and said, I'm so glad I found you. Where is the stupid sleigh? And I said, well, Mama, it's the real sleigh guarded by the real Rudolph. And she said, I know, but where is it? My kids will not go to Silver Dollar City until we find it. Like, okay, Mama, let's do this again. It's the real sleigh guarded by the real Rudolph. And she went, oh. So it was really funny. I had to be very, very specific with
Now,
the
are you putting those
keychain.
together, or are you?
Uh-huh.
Did you buy those three things separate together already?
The keychain came with the reindeer and the snowflake, and I bought key charms from Amazon.
Okay.
And for 250 of them, I probably had $50 into it.
Yeah, because I was going to tell you, I have a bunch of keys that I would
Hmm.
probably give you.
Okay.
And they vary like this and this and this and this. Yeah.
I
So,
appreciate it.
yep.
I think this year we may do cocoa spoons.
And no, people, I'm not mailing them to you.
I think this year we might do cocoa spoons. I
Okay.
saw this prop and I was going to try to get it ready for you guys, but cotton candy is a little harder to find than I thought it was going to be. But you can take cotton candy and spread it out and place some marshmallows in it and make it into a snowball. Put it into the child's hot cocoa and it rolls over. The cotton candy immediately dissipates and the marshmallows come up. So it's like a magic trick. And it's so cute. So we're definitely going to be using that this year.
Nice.
So my bell, which I got from Spangle, I use in a little bit of a different way. When I first bought this, Rachel King said, "Oh, well, that's your Mrs. Claus bell." And I tried for 3 years to make this work for me, and it just didn't. So, what I finally started doing is I would let the kids shake it and I would ask them if they knew what it was. Well, this is Rudolph's bell. And the reason that we have to put a bell on Rudolph is a prankster. And he likes to run up and scare people. Well, one night, Santa had raided my bakery and he had come out with all these cookies, thought he had really done something. And he had his cookies in his hand. And Rudolph came running up, slammed out, and scared him. And those cookies went everywhere. And now Rudolph wears a bell. So that's how we use the bell now.
Walking stick.
Oh, the walking stick. I forgot about that one.
He's sneaking away with all the cookies.
Yeah. I'll have to run go get the walking stick. One of the other props that I use is this. I had these made. I asked the resort to make them, and I had them made for Philip and I. And I'm telling you, these are the greatest icebreakers. And I know you print them Spangle, um, and you can get them pretty much anywhere. But these are such good icebreakers. That's
Are they
probably
stickers? Are
Santa's
those
Phil's
stickers?
favorite prop.
Are they stickers?
They are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know if they
Yep.
were just paper coins or stickers.
Nope, they're stickers. So I
Very
have
good.
go ahead. Oh, I thought somebody said something. I have a walking stick. I'll have to go grab it for you.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Tracy, let's go ahead and run our 90-second break. While we're in that break, you can run and get that stick and we'll show it on the other
Okay,
side.
sounds like a
good?
plan.
All right.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, stuffforsanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on, I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. Stuffforsanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Welcome back.
Oh.
Bob, no sound.
Yeah, I have my microphone muted. Moving back on to the second half of tonight's show with our guest, Mrs. Claus Tracy Pierce. Now, you got two more things that we need to talk about. One is the walking stick. You also mentioned something about Jeff McMullen's book. I don't know if you
I did, and
cover
I
that or not.
for some reason I can't find it. I had to stay in Grapevine an extra day, and I just cannot find it. But it's an amazing book, and if you haven't taken his class, I highly recommend it. But he puts together a book of Santa's favorite things, and they're put inside of like plastic, what do you call them? The page protectors. And so I made it a little different because I approached it as, what do you get the man who has everything for Christmas? And so we did a paper that had a Christmas tree on it, and you put like Velcro on it. And I bought presents from like a scrapbook thing and ornaments from a scrapbook thing. And I would have the kids decorate the tree and put the Christmas trees under it. Then we would do his favorite sweets, his favorite reindeer. We do all the reindeer. We would do his favorite color. And by that, we would do lights that came off of like a garland, that sort of thing. And so I would have the kids do this. And then at the end of it, when it was all done, I would have them sign it in like a dry erase marker. And so that they saw that I told them that I wanted them to know that I wanted Santa to know that they had helped me. So they would sign it or draw a picture or whatever. And I'm telling you, the kids went nuts for this thing. So if you have a chance to see Jeff McMillan do this, or if you want some help making one, give me a call. So it really is a good prop.
Very cool.
The other one that I have with me is, sometimes I teeter totter and I have problems with arthritis, so I take a cane. And this particular cane you can get on Amazon, and it is very delicate. If you drop it, you're going to buy a second one. And they're not super cheap. But the first part of it, I don't know if you can see that, has the compass. And I'll go into, well, St. Nicholas is the patron saint of sailors. And this was given to me years and years and years ago by an old sea captain. And it looks aged. It's got some leather wrapped with nautical signs, that sort of thing. And then mine's a little broken, so we're going to have to play with it. Got dropped. So it's got a little telescope on it. And I'll tell the kids, if you can see that tree or your parents or whatever, Santa has done his magic on this walking stick that the sea captain gave me years ago. And now it is my portal to the nice list. And if they can see their parents or the tree or whatever it is that I tell them right at that moment, then they know that they're on the nice list. So it's always a big hit.
Nice. It's nice to bring an aid into a prop.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Okay. Well, we mentioned that you were a face painter. How did you get
Yes.
started, and how often do you do that?
Well, ironically, this is going to be my last year. This is my 16th year. And when I moved here, I couldn't find a job. And I had been trained as a medical transcriptionist. And it was right at the time that the doctors were starting to do their own. So I couldn't find a job. And my mother said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I said, "I don't know. I've always been an artist. I like to paint. I like kids. I don't know." So she did a little research. She bought a beginner snazaroo kit, tossed it to me, and said, "Go find your own job." And that's what I've done for the last 16 years.
Now, I'll bet you I can tell you something about Snazaroo that you never had any idea about.
What's that?
My seamstress Heidi
Yes.
and her sister
Yes.
started that company.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Small world,
That's
small world.
awesome. Yeah. I don't still use it, but it's a good beginner paint.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's how I started. I've done
Do
it
you,
for about 16 years and I enjoy it. I'm just getting to the point where I'm so busy with the Claus community year
I don't.
round.
I'm not going to accept that this is your last year.
Sorry. You might be able to get me out occasionally.
All right. We got to go over some schedules. I've got them. I just haven't called nobody. I've been so busy.
Sure.
I know you. I know you work at a Big Cedar with Spangle and Jetta when they do the big
Mhm.
events. So I
It's
know
so
where
much
I know
fun.
where he's coming from there. All right, so I have a question for
It's
you.
like going home to family every time you go out there.
Sure. So I have a question for you. You know, you guys were in Oklahoma City with us last month, and we
Yes.
had Rose, Nick Ledbetter, and Rose the reindeer there. Do you guys ever get to work with reindeer out at Big Cedar, or have you had the opportunity to work with reindeer before?
Actually, no, but I have talked to them about bringing Rose or a different reindeer out. So they have the information and hopefully they'll do that. They used to do it. So I'm hoping they'll bring it back.
Yeah, the thing about Rose, she's a little bit different than a lot of the reindeer that you see because she really is a performer. I mean, he has got
She's
her so well
lovely.
trained, and what kills me is when she knows there's a camera, she turns, shows her bottom teeth that she has,
Hmm.
and just looks straight into the camera and smiles. I mean, she knows, what she's doing. I guess you would say.
I think all of my pictures that were professionally done with Rose were so bad because it was just me being like, "Oh my gosh, I get to play with a reindeer." So I didn't even look up. I just that was so exciting and so
But
much fun.
when you look back at all the photos that Cherry Hill took, and you can tell the folks that's never worked with a reindeer before because
Hmm.
they were like, oh, Jerry, they didn't have the cookie and
Yep.
different things. But it is so much fun. She is such a
Oh my
delight. And
gosh.
Nick is so well, uh, in his presentation and his knowledge is,
Hmm.
is overwhelming.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. She's a beautiful animal.
All right. This next question. We're going to make this a two-part question. Bob had
Okay.
mentioned in the opening that you and Philip are vendors at many of the events in schools.
We
Tell us
are.
about a touch of Christmas magic and about your concept as well as your wares and goods. And then also tell us, are people going to be able to find you anywhere else this year?
Yes, they can find me at School of Santas, the two WWOCs, and I think that's it for this year. Of course, you can find me online as well at
Okay.
a touchofchristmasmagic.com. and Facebook. But my concept came from on Fridays at the resort, I changed clothes 5 times. So I have baking in the morning, then I go to story time, then I have a formal thing for an hour where it's a like a registration. And then I have pajama party, and then I have cookie deliveries. And then Saturdays I change 4 times. So I got to thinking about the Mrs. Clauses that were out doing gig work, as well as my own situation. So my outfits typically have a bright, colorful skirt, poly cotton, that sort of thing, and a shirt. We do a working apron, which is a short apron, and I do a taller apron that has a lot of embroidery work on it. And the reason being is yes, you can work in it, but when we work with photographers, the very first thing that they do is they stick us behind a counter with a mixing bowl. So if you have embroidery work here or a design here, then you have your face, your design work, your mixing bowl, and you have a triangle of interest. So we have those 3 items, and then I make kind of a sheer fancy overskirt, and you can throw that on over the poly cotton, add a fancy belt, fur collar or lace collar, fur cuffs, and you've gone from baking to a formal photos with Santa. And it may not be velvet, but you're still going to coordinate and you're going to look beautiful. And it's designed for a Mrs. Claus to be able to have a bag in her car and have everything she needs to go from gig to gig to gig to gig and still be ready with just a couple different pieces. So,
Very cool. Now we all know what School of Santas is, but and you know Bob and I know the other one, the WWOC. You want to tell our viewers in case they're wondering what it is, where they can find what the
sure.
WWOC is.
WWOC is Wondrous Women of Christmas, and it's Rachel King's brainchild. Um, Liz Roosh does a lot of the marketing and things like that. I'm going to be teaching this year, and I'm going to teach fit and style. And then I'm teaching at SOS this year as well on being a well rounded Mrs. Claus. But Wondrous Women of Christmas
What about being
is,
a well-rounded Santa?
I think you get so much of that.
No, I mean
My
here.
my first year,
I'm talking here.
oh, you're such a mess. Um, my first year as Mrs. Claus, I really struggled. And as much as I love you, Spangle, it was like, here, go do your job. And I did not know anything. And so it's taken me these last 5 years to really be able to embrace my Mrs. Claus and be confident in her, and know that she's well rounded. She knows her backstory. She dresses well. She's a little blingy. I figure if I get hot flashes, I get bling. Um, but I think that it's for me, WWOC is for performers like me that maybe they've performed a little bit, but they just need that polish. And it's a true performing school. Like when we go to the school, you need to be prepared for the fact that you're going to be in a parade. You're going to do a high tea. You're going to go out and cold call. You're going to do all the things that you have to do as someone wanting Christmas gigs. And so I think that is so needed. And I think that it's cool that it not just women will benefit from this because it is for all Christmas performers, even though it's women centric. And Rachel is working on new jobs for Mrs. Claus, something like 2,000 new jobs for Mrs. Claus, which is really cool. So WWOC is the Wondrous Women of Christmas. And
Is
it's
that a .com?
um I know it's on Facebook. I assume that it's .com, knowing Liz. But to be honest, I can't say that for certain. Um, you can probably look at it real quick. Um, but I think it's truly needed in our industry.
All right, let's see Spangle's hard at work there.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
looking.
while he's doing that, I think we'll run out here and grab a few of these comments that have popped up along the way. Randy Neely says hi.
Hi, Randy.
Ray Spencer says hi. Sherry
Hello.
Davis says, love you, Tracy.
Love you.
Let's see, I'm digging down through here to see what else is marked. Angie marks these for us. Kane Smith says he loves the scrapbook. He's working on something similar, but in the early stages. Yours looks so awesome.
Thank you.
Debbie
If he
Neely
needs any help, message me. I'll help him.
There you go, Kane. Debbie Neely says Tracy's scrapbook is such a beautiful prop that she just loves it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not 100. I'm sorry, not 100%. I'm sure I'm spelling wondrous right, but I'm not seeing it as a .com. How do you spell wondrous?
WONDEROUS.
Oh, I forgot an O.
Carrying on with the comments, we have Randall Santa Checker Lee says, I agree, it's an amazing, realistic looking, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not finding it, but it doesn't mean I'm not missing it.
It's definitely on Facebook.
AJ wants to know what you're teaching Spangle.
Hi, AJ. Thank you for your message earlier. That was so kind.
I think he
When
means
we're
what you're
at
teaching Spangles.
when we're at School of Santas, Liz Roosh and I are going to teach for about 90 minutes on being a well-rounded Mrs. Claus, working both with your Santa and by yourself.
There you go, HTTPS, womenofchristmas.com.
Women of Christmas. Okay, no wondrous.
Kane put it up for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Tracy, North Pole Cornerstones has also invited you to teach next year,
Yes.
2027. So that's
I'm
a
excited.
good way to start your new year out next year in February.
I think I'll be teaching about being a resort Claus.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. All right. So, at this point, I think we've covered it pretty well. Let's jump over here and say thank you to our contributors to the TNL family. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Ho, 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 ho!
Shop Thermo Apparel. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. And for the coolest of cool Santas or Easter bunnies, remember Thermo Apparel.
Don't just be cool as an attitude. Keep cool, literally.
Thermo Apparel! Be cool! Ho, 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 ho!
Thank you to King Risk Partners, Caboose, and Apparel as three of our major contributors to the show and the network. We appreciate their help very much. At this point, let's go ahead and reveal tonight's trivia answers. These are the schoolofsantas.com, stuffforsanta.com. The first one was, which of these toys were not introduced in the 1960s? You had a choice between Vacuum Form, Super Ball, Matchbox Cars, and Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And the answer there was Matchbox Cars. Our winner?
The first one was AJ and the bonus was Bill Coates.
Okay, AJ on the first one, Bill Coates gets the second one. So AJ, your name goes in the hat. The children's construction toy, Lincoln
Good
Logs,
job,
was
AJ.
by, and that one is going to be John Lloyd Wright, who was actually Frank's son.
But did you know John Lloyd Wright created Lincoln Logs, but it was inspired from his dad's model of the Imperial Hotel in China, the earthquake hotel that was earthquake proof, and that's where he got the design for the Lincoln Logs.
Yes, very good information there, Spangle. Barry Spencer says he's wanting to build a magic crystal box for our prop. If anyone has any ideas there, reach out to Barry Spencer and help him out with that.
Liz Roosh
I
has a
have
crystal that she
Liz does?
uses. That's
Okay, Liz
beautiful.
Roosh.
Remember, she used it at North Pole Cornerstones.
There you go. And Barry was at North Pole, so he was there to see that.
I got a new box that I'm going to be putting together too. That's going to be almost scary how cool this will be.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
You always got some cool stuff. All right, at this point, let's go ahead and roll our last two videos, and we'll be back on the other side of that with a closing.
Okay.
Ready for those snuck.
Angie's Originals, custom Christmas attire since 2015. Your all-in-one wardrobe shop. Shop at angiesoriginals.com.
All right, again, I want to say thank you to Cherry Hill Programs and Angie's Originals for helping things out here. We appreciate it very much. Spangle, what's your closing thoughts tonight, my friend?
Hey, I think it was cool. I think the show went awesome. I just loved hearing my wife was watching it.
Absolutely.
We miss her.
Yes, we do. We're pulling really hard. Been trying to keep Spangle's spirits up, which is really hard because I know he's missing you tremendously, and we're gonna keep fighting for you, girl.
We love you, Jetta. Guys,
All right.
thanks for having me.
We'll say thank you to Tracy for coming on the show and sharing her expertise with us tonight. Such a wonderful Mrs. Claus. Got a good gig. I hate to use the term gig because to me that kind of doesn't really live up to its name when you say gigs, but
It's a beautiful job.
that's kind of the term that we use. But yes, I like the job better. Very
Yeah.
good. All right, so tune in, kick up your heels, join in the fun for all the 2026 shows here, powered on the TNL Network Productions. Want to say thank you, and I like to run through these because these folks spend, the time to help us out. SchoolofSantas.com, StuffForSanta.com, KingInsurance.com, North Pole Cornerstones.com, SantaNana.com, NationwideSantas.com, Caboose.com, ThermoPayroll.com, HolidayPhotoMagic.com, AngiesOriginal.com, and CherryHillPrograms.com. Tell everyone good night, Spangle.
Good night, Spangle.
Remember to join us for our
Thanks,
next
guys.
Tuesday Night Live each week, 7 p.m. Same Claus time, same Claus channel. Catch your blessings, not your sorrows. Have a blessed week, everyone. On behalf of the whole TNL Network production crew and Tracy, Angela, Spangle, and
Thank
myself.
you.
Good night, all. Good to see you again.
Good
Catch us
night.
next Monday and catch all the other shows.
Good night, everyone.